option with the Phoenix Suns, just made the finals with them, wants to be near his family on the West Coast. Phoenix checked that box. Where do we stand with CP3 in free agency?
That is a fascinating question in this offseason, because remember, it's not just Chris Paul, but they've got Cameron Payne they have to pay to keep. They have extension eligible DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges. DeAndre Ayton is going to want a max contract, and he's going to get it next year in restricted free agency if you don't give it to him now. Mikal Bridges might be a $20 million a year player. Now you can.
I don't think there's a might be there. I think he's going to get paid a lot of money.
Absolutely. Now you can push those guys off a year and deal with restricted free agency. But Chris, this is a test for Robert Sarver and his willingness to spend. It is not inconceivable that Chris Paul opts out of that contract and comes into this free agent market, and then all of a sudden the Suns are competing with everybody else and other options, and he has a lot more options in free agency right now than he had trade options coming out of OKC last year, even at 36 years old.
Well, that would be a huge story. And like you said, they have a year window left where Bridges and Ayton are on their rookie deals. The pain financially comes in the next year. A team that is experiencing a lot of pain financially, but
this season, 2021, is the best season of Chris Paul. No matter how much was stacked up against CP3, he still elevated the Phoenix Suns to achieve a number 2 seed in the East. That's huge. Even with the misfortune of drawing the Los Angeles Lakers in round 1, and Paul himself injuring his shoulder early in the series, these Suns didn't flinch. Hey, when he was on, man, they stepped up to the plate, right? Okay, let's get into it. However, the Suns roster had faced many problems, and at that time, NBA fans called the Warriors. This is the best place for him to hone his talent. Oh yeah, and tonight we're going to be talking about it's Chris Paul versus Stephen Curry, and a whole new dynamic for the Suns and the Warriors. Oh, let's get into it, baby. Chris Paul is having the best season of his career, considering this is his first time to the NBA Finals. So yeah, you have to count it, right? Chris Paul, in his full name, Christopher Emmanuel Paul, but we all call him CP3, an American professional basketball player who became one of the premier stars in the NBA. Paul's career single-handedly gives the lie to one of the basketball's enduring myths, the pure point guard. Supposedly, the pure point guard is selfless, wise, and lives to do nothing other than to set up his teammates to score. As adept and intuitive, a playmaker, and the NBA has, seen some great guys, but have they ever seen a guy like Chris Paul? Paul made passes that defied comprehension, while shifting around his teammates and opponents, and like a master chess player. Woo! At the same time, yeah, he can score as well. One of the best scorers too, nailing outside jump shots with impressive accuracy and knifing through the basket with ease. Yes, let's get into it. Paul joined essentially the same Phoenix team. Yes, hey, went perfect in Orlando, but and that bubble, But no, didn't make the playoffs last year. No sir, you can't credit head coach Monty Williams and the gradual improvement of studs like Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. But Paul's ability to create a winning culture is underestimated. And we have to realize one thing, that Chris Paul did all of this with a quick turnaround to a new regular season, with that shorter schedule as well. He had to adjust to complete the change of scenery and new teammates while building camaraderie with the guys. On the fly, man. That's not always easy, man. Anybody who's played sports know how hard it is to actually make those type of adjustments, especially in the NBA, B. It's not like you're, out there with a bunch of seasoned pros. The Suns are amongst one of the youngest teams in the NBA and certainly have the most useful core in the franchise's cornerstone. And that was the whole history. That's for sure. Regardless of how much stacked against Chris Paul, he elevated his team as well. He always does, no matter where he goes. Now the Phoenix Suns are in the NBA Finals and looking to win their first NBA championship. Two of the most leagues, efficient guards, have not always seen eye to eye. In fact, they have also had some interesting duels. From times that, Chris Paul was in, in Choke City, I mean, the Clippers, and back in, I was in 2011, and throughout the whole time, while in Houston as well. As Paul's Phoenix Suns were getting ready to prepare, the face of Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors, he spoke highly of, and they spoke highly of each other as well. And they talked about how they felt about the rivalry. Yeah, let's hear what they had to say. We're going to talk about their friendship off the court. Even before Curry entered the NBA, Paul knew the kind of person he is, and he was. And despite whatever went on between the court, it was just on the court. And off the court, these guys were, they was good guys. Good friends with each other. But when you're on the court, when it's battle time, hey, everybody's your enemy, dog. Trust me. But let's get back into it. In a pregame interview, Paul said, "What's crazy is we don't think of ourselves as old. And Steph is a grown man in his own right. He went on and revealed the relationship that these two have outside of the NBA basketball court. But I do a point guard and elite camp every summer. Steph came to the camp, right? But a lot of people don't know this. Before Stephen Curry's rookie year, he came on a family trip with my whole family. Yeah, I didn't even know that either, man. That's what's up. So we went to Orlando. Like, I went to take my kids to Disney World. Steph came with us, and we worked out, and we trained. Yeah, our families knew each other. I was with Octagon. We were on the same agency. Steph and I have the same financial advisor. I've known Steph forever. That's what's up, man. Okay, now we're going to talk about the respect beyond the game of basketball. Knowing Steph outside of the game of basketball has made, Chris Paul respect him that much more. He explained further. See, when he came into the league, he had my respect because we had spent real time together, training and working out. And Steph just kept getting nicer and nicer and nicer. I can believe that. Hey, talking about them buddy hands, hey, that's never affected the perception of him. Like I said, he had my respect. But when I played with the Clippers, and once we got into the playoff series, it just slowly started building. But man, Steph was just nice. It was just a matter of time for them to put that into his system for him. And the rest is history, as he concluded. Okay, enter a matchup today. The Suns held on to their lead, and the Warriors trailed for most of the game. Thus, the game was over with the Suns, cracking them in their head 114-93. The two teams won't be facing each other again soon, so it looks like Chris Paul and Steph Curry have to hold off on their rivalry until next time. Chris Paul calls DeAndre Ayton the anchor of the Phoenix Suns defense. With Ayton on the bench for much of the second half, the defense sank. Obviously, the 6'11 center's inability to avoid foul trouble enabled Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks to get away in a 120-101 blowout Game 3 victory against the Suns. That was on Sunday night. He's a big part of our team, said Paul, the Suns' all-star guard. He's, the anchor of our defense. I feel like any opposing team would love to have him on the court, defensively and offensively. Big words. Phoenix also missed Devin Booker's production as he shot the ball 3 for 14 and collected just 10 points after scoring 27 points in Game 1 and 31 in Game 2. Ayton's absence showed how much of his presence on the floor was needed as they got popped by the Milwaukee Bucks. The number 1 overall pick in the 2018 draft scored 16 points in the first 14 minutes of Game 3, but picked up a fourth foul with 10:24 to go left in the third quarter and sat out for the rest of the period. By the time he returned, the Bucks owned the lead, being up by 22 points. While DA wasn't available, to reporters after the game, his teammates emphasized how much they missed him. It was big time because they crashed the glass so hard, and they're bigs, and they really emphasized physicality in the game. Suns forward Cam Johnson said, DeAndre, he does a really good job of bringing that presence to our paint, rebounding the ball, being physical. So it's tough in him, to have foul trouble for sure. But Phoenix Suns still own the lead at 2-1 in a best-of-7 series with a Game 4 on Wednesday night in Milwaukee. But the Suns must find a way to slow down Big Giannis, who has collected at least 40 points and 10 rebounds over the last 2 games. That's tough enough to do when Ayton's on the floor. He's even had trouble Sunday night trying to help out against the 2-time MVP without drawing fouls. And when Ayton's on the bench in foul trouble and Giannis going crazy, and doing anything he want to do, hey man, the Bucks are tough, especially when you get guys like, Drew Holiday finally stepping up and, Middleton playing a solid floor game, you know what I'm saying? It's tough, man. That's what Paul said. Giannis, coming at you full speed like you're running back. He's trying to put his hands up, but it's tough, okay? After scoring just 10 points in Game 2 victory, Ayton shot the ball 6 for 7 in the first quarter on Sunday. Ayton's quick 16 points helped the Suns grab a 36-30 lead early in the second period. But he just scored 2 points for the rest of the game, finishing off with 18 points and 9 rebounds in less than 25 minutes. Impressive. He just had a good game going, But the foul troubles didn't allow him to continue it. That's Monty Williams. DA has done a really good job of avoiding foul trouble this postseason up until Sunday. Williams said he wasn't going to complain about the officiating, but noted that Giannis had more free throw attempts at 17 than the whole Phoenix Suns team at 16. Okay. They were aggressive. We have to give them credit for that, Williams says. I'm not going to sit here and complain about, a team that is aggressive, right? But we have to understand how the refs are calling the game and adjust to that. There's a ton of physicality in the game for sure. But as far as teaching them, we got to look at the film and see where we can have better body position and pick up some charges when they present themselves. Yes, that's absolutely correct. You're going to have to take charges on, to be honest. Hey, you have to get him in foul trouble as well. Once Ayton picked up the 4th foul early in the third quarter, the Suns did not, they got popped. In other words, they did not do a good job of experimenting with their lineup due to their lack of size. So the game was pretty much over after Ayton got foul trouble. And of course, Devin Booker shooting the ball so poorly that game, he actually got benched for the rest of the game. The Suns are playing without for Dario Saric, who tore an anterior cruciated ligament in game 1. For Terry Craig played, but he didn't seem to be at full strength after injuring his knee in game 2. We all saw that. And after 7-foot Frank Kaminsky was pretty much trash and ineffective. The Suns briefly, returned to Abdul Nader, a 6'5" who played a total of 1 minute in the first 2 games of the finals. They had 6'4" Jay Crowder playing the center at times. Whoa. Worked for a hot second, but the success did not last. The Suns made 12 of their 14 shots in the third quarter to cut the deficit to 15 at halftime, to 4. But once they cooled off, the Bucks pulled away and they got busy. Milwaukee scored the final 16 points of the quarter. 98-76. The Bucks ended up outscoring the Suns 20-2 in second chance points. Wow. Hey, we don't have enough bodies to get the job done. Someone's going to get in foul trouble, Crowder said. So once again, it's all about adjustments. Can the Phoenix Suns make adjustments for this game? Can they stay out of foul trouble? Can Devin Booker come back and have a Devin Booker type night? Can he be legendary? We have a lot of questions for the Phoenix Suns. But most importantly, we have a lot of exciting basketball left, guys. A lot of people thought it was going to be a sweep, but look, the Milwaukee Bucks are playing strong. Hey, and they're pretty aggressive at home. Of course, they play better at home, like most teams. But for the most part, hey, we're going to have to keep D8 out of foul trouble. Devin Booker's going to have to get buckets. Hey, and the rest will be history. Hopefully we can get a game 7. And once again, this is your boy Mo Egger. It's the NBA show, man. Signing out until next time.